To tell you guys. 3. Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Libra Views. I'm Charlene. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. So I'm here today to talk about this whole Coi Leray BenZino situation. I know I might be a smidge late, but I had to do a little research so I could put this video together, okay? So for all of you guys, you probably know by now that I'm Coi Leray, who is an up-and-coming rapper, you know, kind of new age female rapper. She's been coming up. She is the daughter of BenZino. Now, a lot of people didn't know that Coi Leray was BenZino's daughter. I knew it. I knew that a while ago. I'm not really sure how I found that out, but I think BenZino would like post her like on his page and like for National Daughter Day. So I think I knew that Coi Leray was BenZino's daughter, but a lot of people didn't know. She's been putting out music. I actually like her music. I like the song Do Better. I like the song she has with Fetty Wap. You know, so I've been listening to her since, you know, at least last year. But she recently came out with a song called No More Parties, which I actually like as well. And this song has actually been getting more traction than the other songs that she has put out in the past. And it's a really cute song. It's like a little TikTok dance that goes along with it. But one of the lines in the song goes, my daddy let me down, but I promise I won't let up. And basically insinuating that, you know, BenZino, which is her dad, was a bad father, a bad dad growing up. Now, BenZino is the former owner of The Source magazine. BenZino was on Love and Hip Hop, you know, so BenZino's known by the older generation and the younger generation for different reasons. When this line came out, it raised a lot of controversy because, you know, it's like essentially she's calling out her dad. She's basically saying, you know, her dad let her down. You know, her dad basically insinuating that her dad really didn't have an important role in her life, okay? And it kind of raised an eyebrow for me because, like I said, I've been knew that BenZino was her dad. I've been knew that based off of how they interacted on social media. Like I said, she would always be posted on his page from what I remember. But, you know, it kind of raised an eyebrow because I'm like, you know, from what I understand, you know, y'all had a pretty decent relationship. You know, what happened now, you know? So my mind starts going. And I actually recalled some interviews that she had done in the past where she basically was insinuating that BenZino had ruined a lot of his relationships with people in the industry. So I'm just going to say that, you know, Coi Leray has made it a point to acknowledge that her dad BenZino has pissed off, has gotten into, and has said a lot of crazy things about a lot of people in the industry. And that because BenZino was such a hothead and because BenZino had ruined a lot of relationships with a lot of industry people, it kind of hindered her career as a musician. So I'm going to say that and then let's pause that and we're going to get back to that point later. So when Coi came out with the song No More Parties with this line in it about her dad, you know, BenZino spoke out about it. You know what I mean? I guess he was getting backlash. I guess people were hitting him up. I guess he got wind of it. He said he had reached out to her and she didn't answer the phone and they hadn't spoken. So he ended up going on Instagram Live and this is what he had to say about Coi insinuating that he was a bad dad.
It's fucked up when you're a good father and later on in life you get put on the internet for not being a good father and people come at you with that shit. I don't got time for that shit. I'm not with it. Shout out to all my real parents out there who taking care of their kids because they need you. Everything's about a kid.
So you just saw those clips, and clearly BenZino was basically saying, look, I don't know what she's talking about. You know, I had her every summer. You know, her brothers, I hung out with and took care of people in her family that's not even blood related to me. You know, I don't know where this is coming from, right? So then Coi gets online and she responds and basically, you know, calls out her dad and expresses how she was kind of pissed off that he had went on the internet while her song is blowing up to address these accusations of him being a bad dad.
I would have thought the day when I reach up on Billboard, you know, the day when I'm on Billboard, I'm on YouTube top, I'm on Rolling Stone breaking all kinds of records, and this bitch ass nigga BenZino wants to fucking come online and start fucking with me, bro. Instead of being a father and just supporting from that side, you still want to be bitter. That's why you burn all your fucking relationships, my nigga. And that's why my career, yo, bro, I have to really bend my back and make sure niggas can fucking understand me as a person. Because at the end of the day, I don't want my father's relationships and the bridges he burnt to affect me. All that other personal shit he talking about, mansions and all that, everybody that's been in my life is fucking cap. That nigga is cap. We lost everything. Source was gone. By the time I was old enough to even understand the source, that shit was gone, bro. Give it up. Don't blame my mother. My mother is the best thing that ever happened to me. My number one supporter overall. At the end of the day, this ain't here to bash my father. And let me not get ahead of myself and be disrespectful. I don't even mean to call a nigga a bitch ass nigga, right? But at the end of the day, that's a fucking bitch move, my nigga. That's a bitch move. If you a father, right, support your fucking kids, my nigga, and that's it. Don't go online looking for fucking what's the word called? Clarity? Like, what the fuck are you looking for? Some type of fucking sympathy, nigga? You want people to feel bad for you? Because of what? Let's talk about how I don't speak to you. You didn't wish me happy birthday on, like, damn near none of my birthdays. Didn't say happy Thanksgiving. Haven't spoke to you in months, but then try to get me to go on Growing Up Hip Hop. Right? Try to get me to go on Growing Up Hip Hop. Told me that they wasn't gonna let you on it if it wasn't for me. They didn't want to pay me the money I wanted. After that, I never heard from you again. Never heard from you again. Come on, my nigga. Y'all niggas is fucking weird, bro. Like, I had to pull over and really stop because I'm shaking. I'm driving by myself on my way to my little appointments or whatever so I could finish up what I got to do so I could get ready for my Atlanta trip. My mom called me. It's crazy because we was just on the phone crying yesterday, sharing this moment. Like, really sharing the moment. Like, niggas don't even understand, like, and I can't wait to tell my story because it's so many young females, young male that got industry parents or that got people in the industry, and these fucking people feel like they got so much power, bro. These motherfuckers got so much power. Nah, them tables turn. Y'all niggas is outdated as fuck.
So as you can see, you know, this father-daughter duo is going back and forth. And long story short, basically, the general public is basically looking at BenZino like he is a bad dad. But I was internet surfing not too long ago, and I ran across an interview that Coi Leray did with Vlad TV about 6-7 months ago. And the way that she was talking about BenZino and the way that she was talking about the relationship that she had with him and how she grew up, it doesn't really seem like conversations that a child that grew up without their dad would have, okay? During this interview with Vlad, she was basically saying how she basically lived with all of her brothers, which means it was her brothers on her mom's side, her brothers on BenZino's side. They all lived together. She said that she had a very lit childhood. She even said that she looked at herself as a Hannah Montana because her mom, you know, wasn't really, you know, the wealthiest. She was a bartender. But BenZino was the one with the money. So it's like on one end, she was living in New Jersey and kind of living kind of like an average life. But on the other end, you know, she's living like this glamorous life, going on vacations and having this relationship with her dad. Hannah Montana, but nothing short of a young girl in distress. But that's how she described herself. So I want you to listen to this audio and listen how she talks about her dad and her childhood and how descriptive she is when she talks about and she's describing her dad. Check this out.
How's that like?
it was lit. You know what I'm saying? It was growing up with my mom. It was just basically, it was new. I call myself Hannah Montana, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like having the best of both worlds. So when my dad or whatever, you know, when I got 9 and old enough to really start understanding things, money wasn't flowing like how it was, you know. So when I moved with my mom, things were different. You know, food stamps, having to work at 16, finding a job. I dropped out 10th grade, just really had to just figure life out, you know, and it also humbled me. And I'm the only girl too. That's why I want to be my mom, because I got 5 brothers. So
wait. You have 5 brothers?
Yeah, my dad had a son, Zeno. So now I got 5 brothers total.
Same parents or different fathers,
so
mothers?
It's me, Kwame, Monty is on my mom's side. Mm-hmm. Ray, Zeno is on my dad's side, and Taj, me and my mom, me, Taj, share the same mom and dad.
Okay.
So yeah. So I got 2 brothers, middle child, middle brother, or whatever you would say.
Okay. So
but we all grew up together, like all of us.
Oh, in the same house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Was there a dad around? Like someone's dad?
Yeah,
around?
My dad.
So, but when you moved to Jersey.
When I moved to Jersey, no, it was just, when I moved to Jersey, Ray went back to Boston. Me, Kwame, Amani, and Taj. My 3 brothers.
4 kids.
Yeah.
Single mom?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but it was lit at the same time. I had a lit childhood, like, not gonna lie.
Okay. Did your mom struggle?
You know, yeah, of course. She was a bartender. She started bartending or whatever, and, you know, it was kind of to adapt from that lifestyle to the new one. It was, you know, everybody had to get uncomfortable, whatever I would say. Mm-hmm. So everybody just had it was about building back up, trying to, you know, we wasn't, of course, close to where we started, but nigga, we was working. Everybody was working.
She has already ran into some people in the industry that didn't want to deal with her based on the fact that BenZino was her dad. So putting all this together, I pretty much conclude that the reason why Coi decided to put that line in her song and go on this kind of rampage of separating herself from BenZino, I genuinely feel like she did it because she felt like she had to, in order to show the industry and to show people in the industry that, look, I know my dad ain't shit. I know my dad has started a lot of bullshit in the industry, but I don't have nothing to do with him. He was a bad dad. We don't have a good relationship. He's a bitch ass nigga. I don't fuck with him. We're completely separate. I don't want to be known as his daughter. I don't want to, none of that, because I don't want what he's done to people in the industry to affect what the fuck I got going on. And that's truly what I believe. I believe all of this was a scheme that Todd set up. It's like, no, I'm joking. That's a line from Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I really think that Coi Leray, this is a scheme that she set up to kind of show the world and show the industry, listen, I'm popping, I'm a talented artist, and I don't want you guys to throw me to the wayside or not deal with me based on my dad and his reputation.
That's what it is. Coi Leray, congratulations on your success. Me and your dad actually go way back. We're not on the best of terms at this very moment, but...
Why are not the best of terms?
I'll tell you off camera.
Why you don't want to tell me you're on camera?
I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you now. You want to hear it?
I want to know.
Okay. I've been rocking with BenZino since like before Vlad TV. And I gave him a lot of his interviews. He would hit me up and say, oh, I want to do an interview about this. I want to do an interview about Eminem. I want to do an interview about that. I want to do an interview about Stevie J. I even interviewed him and your grandfather together.
So you know Schnapps?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And whenever he would ask for an interview, I'd always say yes. And this one time, maybe about a year ago, he asked me for an interview and I said, no. You know, we just don't have the time right now and I don't really want to cover this particular topic. Mm-hmm. And then Vlad's a culture vulture, Vlad ain't shit, Vlad a blah, blah,
okay,
blah.
so one thing about my dad, right? So, you know, he's very, very passionate. And a lot of the times, you know, he just don't give a fuck. And he's a Cancer.
Me too.
So you should know, y'all are very emotional.
Yep.
So 9 times out of 10, when he does black out like that, because it's a blackout situation, because it's really not who he is, but it's because he really cares. So clearly, like, if he developed a friendship with you when y'all, like, he feel like, because most of the times he feel like everybody against him. So when he do got somebody like you that's like on his side and you rocking with him, and then you be like, no, the insecurity just play a part in that, because he's just trying to go ahead and figure everything out and get to where he started. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes emotionally and mentally that shit will fuck you up, and it makes you do things that you don't want to do and that you regret. It makes you say things. But realistically, like, I know my dad. When he go hard, it's out of love. It's all out of love.
Like I said, it's not that serious.
But it happens, you know what I'm saying? But that's just, overall in anything that's going on. Like, everything that just be going on. Like, he's, my dad's, one thing about him, he's very smart. He's crazy, but he's smart, and that nigga's a businessman. So everybody's not perfect,
Yeah, but it was like you said, I was actually one of the few people rocking with him.
That's right.
I was the only one giving him interviews with a big platform, right? For years. The answer was always yes whenever he asked. Now, one time I hear a no.
Like I said, it made him feel like, come on, my nigga, you supposed to be my brother. Like, no, like, you supposed to give me, like, especially when times get rough for a motherfucker, like, you supposed to, like, niggas just, like, trying to figure out every way, so he's trying to use his resource. I know, I could now say, like, it's funny, because now I could just be like, ha, like, not no ha, laughing at you, but ha, dad, like, we could sit here and have a conversation about these things, to where we could understand each other now. And, it's, like I said, every day is a learning lesson, and I'm pretty sure he regret it, because when you do shit like that, you fuck up relationships. But I appreciate you even want to do an interview with me still, and want to fuck with me, and not even letting that shit interfere.
Oh yeah, I didn't connect those two
I love
situations.
That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna mention it. You prodded me to actually tell the story.
Like, I want to pick your brain a little bit. You like to pick niggas' brains, so I wanted to pick your shit. Yeah. But like I said, it is what it is. BenZino is BenZino.
Yep.
And it is just, there's only one. So just accept him for who he is. That's just it. Love him.
Yeah,
that's just it.
Yep. Like I said, we'll eventually get on the phone and talk it out. It's not that. Getting called a culture vulture is not like one of those things that I'll hold against you forever.
He knows you ain't no culture vulture. He knows, I know. If he don't fucking know, I know for sure, as much as you've done for the culture and everything that you put in as far as everything in this culture and the hip hop community.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people appreciate you.
Yeah. And people need to appreciate BenZino more for his contributions, because the source was one of those publications that I more or less modeled Vlad TV after, because I would read every issue that would come out.
This is the problem. The world's attention span these days is like the fucking size of a pea. So once they see one thing, they capitalize off it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, if there's a bunch of bullshit going on, and he just needs to be able to go ahead and trigger that and outweigh that shit and talk about that stuff. So that way, that's all that is that they're talking about. Mm-hmm. A lot of that shit I talk about in my EP and in my songs, like, you'll be surprised. I talk about my dad. I talk about my mom, my brothers growing up, just love, heartbreaks, everything. Like, everything. So you'll see, I actually have a song that I'm going to drop one day. It's like a song about me and my dad's relationship. It's hard.
All right.
It's hard.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Off of their affiliations.
But it's going to take this for him to realize that. It's going to take interviews like this that he needs to watch, and people like you, Angela, for him to realize, like, you know what? She's not a bad person. She's not what I said she was. I obviously was just in my feelings, and for her to even still look out for my daughter off the simple fact that, like, that should just show I was the problem,
Well, I never want to judge somebody off of their affiliations, because obviously that's not on you and you have nothing to do with that. And I think it would be a shame if it did hinder you from being successful in doing what you're doing just because of something that you had no control over.
Right. I appreciate that. And hopefully a lot of people in this world understand that, and it does not hinder me, because I'm trying to be here forever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how does it make you feel when people like raise the 5'9"?
Honestly, do I think that she could have just simply called her dad and said, look, this is what I'm about to do. I'm going to separate myself from you in the limelight, because until I can get to a point where I made it, because I don't want what you've done in the past to hinder what I'm trying to do. And honestly, judging by how BenZino has been in the industry for so long, and judging by how he knows that this is a cutthroat industry and that you really have to do this and do that and take from this to give to that, I think that BenZino probably would have been, he might have been hurt, but I think he would have understood, like, look, you know, I had to do this for my daughter because, you know, I have, you know, ruined some things and I don't want my daughter to be affected. And I think he would have understood, you know. Now, what can I say that that Coi Leray and BenZino hasn't fallen out, you know, in her adult years or her late teenage years? Who knows? I don't know what goes on in their personal family, on their personal side. But as far as growing up, as far as BenZino being there, as far as BenZino being a prominent force in her life, I think that he was definitely there. And I think she's only doing this now so that she can get leverage in the industry. Okay? So that's my commentary. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Again, subscribe, like, and share this video. Tag a friend. And until next time, deuces.